This video is going to be a more extended version of our getting started video, and it should help you understand how to use CartFlows while we are expanding our documentation. So I'm going to try to go through as many of the settings as possible just to give you an overall idea of how it works so that you can use CartFlows now, and we'll be constantly adding to our documentation, but this is what we're going to be rolling with right now. Okay, so I already have CartFlows installed. Now, CartFlows is going to be two plugins that you would install. It's CartFlows and CartFlows Pro, and you would install and activate it, and when you do that, it's going to prompt you to install WooCommerce. Now, after WooCommerce installs, it might be a good idea for you to go through the setup process if you've never done that before, and we do have articles in the knowledge base on how to set WooCommerce up. So after you set WooCommerce up, there's just a few things that you need to make sure that you do there, and that is, put your proper address in and set up a payment gateway. If you need to charge taxes and if you're shipping, you would also go through those settings as well. But for digital delivery, for digital products, digital courses, digital ebooks, anything along those lines, you don't need to go through the shipping, and taxes might apply to you or not. But what you really need to do in here is go ahead and set up your payment gateway. Now, we recommend using Stripe. Now, I know that Stripe is not available in all countries. The current version of CartFlows, in order for the one-click upsells and downsells feature, it's going to require either Stripe or using PayPal, but you have to contact PayPal and have them add something called reference transactions to your account. It requires that you have a business PayPal account, and I have instructions in the knowledge base on how to accomplish that as well. It's not an instant thing. You have to call them, and it takes a few days, but it's very easy to do. Now, obviously, there's a lot more payment gateway options for WooCommerce. You can use them. However, it will not work with our upsells and downsells today. We are working on an elegant solution so that you can use your payment gateway even if they don't allow one-click upsells and downsells. However, we are not including that in the version that's out right now because we're working out all the details on how to do that in an elegant way for the people that are on your website. So if you want to use upsells or downsells today, it needs to be with Stripe or with PayPal with reference transactions enabled. If you did happen to have upsells and downsells in your flow, it would just skip those steps altogether. So after you have this, you're going to want to go and add your first product. So we don't need a lot of information from the product. So if you click on add new, obviously you have to put a product name, and this is going to show in the receipt. It's also going to show on the tally on the checkout. So you're going to want to put a name there that is okay for people to see, obviously, and you could categorize your products if you want. So in this area right here for text, we don't use that for anything in CartFlows, and also the product short description, we don't use that in CartFlows either. So really where you're going to spend your time is in this option box right here. Now, if it's just a virtual product, you can put your price and you are ready to go. We also don't use the featured image. Now, if it's a downloadable product, when you check on that, you would put your price and then link it up to your file, and you're ready to go. If you're using a system such as LearnDash or Lifter LMS or anything that connects into WooCommerce, usually what happens is they're going to add an option here where you would click in it. For example, with Lifter LMS, you'll see the tab there, you click on it, and then you say this product grants access to this course or membership or something along those lines. So that's how CartFlows with WooCommerce will immediately work with all of these various platforms that you may already own and be using. So the first thing you're going to want to do is come in here and load up your products. So you would have a separate product for your front offer, your order bump, for your upsell, and for your downsells. It's easier if you just go in here and load them all up. Now, there is a duplicate feature, so if they're just enhancements of certain products, you can come in here, click on duplicate, and that's how you can build out your products very quickly. Just change your price. So now let's jump into CartFlows. So I'll click here, and first we'll go over settings. There is a getting started video. You can go through here. It goes through settings. We have our shortcuts to the knowledge base, to the Facebook community, and also to open up a support ticket. And you can obviously watch this video. Now down here we have this option to disallow search engines from indexing your flows. So if you don't want Google to index all of the steps in your flow, just check this box. It's super easy. There's obviously other ways to accomplish it, but we wanted to make it easy by having this there. This is interesting. So we have a global checkout, and what this means is if you want to use your WooCommerce store in the traditional fashion where someone adds a product to the cart and then from the cart goes to the checkout, you can have it, instead of going to the checkout that's generated by WooCommerce in your theme, you can have it go to a checkout that's fully set up and customized in CartFlows. So you would set up a flow. The first step would be a checkout, and then you would come here and you would choose that particular flow. You'll see the name right here, and then you can go ahead and check that option. Just be sure to not add a product to this step. You're going to understand that in a second, how to do that. Just make sure you don't add that product to it. Okay, and that's simple, and then you can test that, and that's nice. You can add order bumps and have upsells and downsells. Now we are going to be working on a rules engine for people that want to use CartFlows this way, and a rules engine will allow you to conditionally add an order bump or conditionally add upsells and downsells based upon what someone put in the cart. However, the main focus of CartFlows is in the full sales funnel, and that's where our focus has been. Okay, so if you're using PayPal with reference transactions, you can check this box to be able to use PayPal for your one-click upsells and downsells. And so those are the settings. We tried to keep it very simple. So now let's go into flows, and this is where pretty much all the action happens. We intentionally made this feel very WordPressy, and the reason we did that is because if you use WordPress, you're going to feel right at home using CartFlows, and that was the goal. We didn't want to put some fancy, shiny interface that now you have to learn a new thing. We wanted to just stick with the way WordPress does it so that you will automatically, intuitively know what to do. Okay, so the first step would be to create a flow, and you do that by clicking on Add New. And so we have templates coming for all the page builders that you see listed here, but we only have them right now for Elementor. So you can click here, and it's some for Divi. Click here, we'll have some for Beaver Builder, and we're looking to expand beyond these three. Most likely we will add Breezy. We're still working out some details with that, and we're working with Thrive Architect right now as well. So let's click back to Elementor. Now, if you're going to use Divi and Beaver Builder or some other page builder, you can use that with your own templates very easily. So what you would do is you would first click on Start from Scratch. Let's just go ahead and do that now, just so that you know how to do that. Okay, so what this is going to do is create a basic flow that includes a landing page, a checkout page, and a thank you page. It's easy to add new steps. You would just click Add New Step, and then if you wanted to add an upsell, click on Upsell, and then click on Create. And it's going to add that upsell that you can start building out with your own templates and your own builder. The same thing goes for a downsell. Let's just go ahead and add one of those real quick. And it's going to create it and add it. So obviously, because I just added that, we have an ordering issue. Now, each of these steps you can reorder very easily. You can just click, drag, drop. Click, drag, drop. And this is how you'd probably want it ordered. Landing page, checkout page, upsell page, downsell, and then a thank you page. So what happens is if someone takes you up on the upsell, it will skip the downsell and automatically take them to the thank you page. But you can have additional upsells and downsells, as many as you want, and you can order them how you want, but you do have to put them in an order. So if I didn't do this and I just had the thank you page there, someone would check out, hit your thank you page, and they're not going to see your upsells and downsells. Now, if you notice, we have some warnings here on some of these steps. and it says no product assigned. So on a checkout page, we have to go in and specifically choose a product that's going to show on this dedicated checkout page. The same is for upsells and the same is for downsells. So we wanted to make it very easy to know if there's any kind of issue with how things are set up, and this is what we've done to accomplish that. Let's take a look inside the landing page step. So I'm going to click on Edit, and if you want to get back to your flow, it's simple. Just click this button here, back to Edit Flow. All right, and for your page builder, whatever page builder you're using, you need to make sure you enable it to work on these steps. So Elementor worked out of the box on this custom post type, but for Beaver Builder, you have to go into the Beaver Builder settings, and then there's a tab that says post type, and specifically enable Beaver Builder to work on steps. Those of you familiar with Beaver Builder might already be comfortable and familiar with doing that. Okay, so the first thing for each step is the step name. This name ties to the label that we saw in the list of steps. So if I change it here, it's also going to change it there, so you can make this make more sense for you as you're building out these flows. Now you also have full control over the page slug. So right now it's my domain name / landing page 3. You're probably not going to want that. You can easily click on edit and you can change that to whatever you want. Now that applies to every single step in your flow. Now when I scroll down, each step is going to have an option box. It's going to look just like this. Some steps have more setting options than other. So a landing page is really just going to have the link that you need to put in whatever button or linking in your landing page to take them to the next step. In this case, the next step is the checkout. So all you need to do is copy this and use the button module in your page builder. You don't even really need to use a page builder. That's the power of this stuff. So as Gutenberg matures, you're probably not even going to need a page builder at some point, but you're going to get better design results with the page builder. So you just need this link into your button and it's going to take your users to the next step. And the beauty is it will always take them to the next step. So if you reorder items, it's going to know what the next step is. So you would go here and create your landing page and put that link in there, and then you're going to be ready to go. So I'm going to click this to go back to edit flow. All right, and so here where it says landing page, that's where it's pulling that step title, and we'll always leave this badge here to let you know that this is a landing page. When you go into it, you're going to have those settings for a landing page. Now let's take a look at the checkout page, and this is the step that has the most options for design. So I'm going to go ahead on this step and click on edit. Now same thing. You can change your title, you can change your page slug if you like, and it will reflect on that list of steps. Okay, so what this does is we have our options here and we have them logically separated. So essentially what you're going to style and set up here, including the order bump and the way the form fields are and custom fields, they all get displayed in your page or with your page builder using this one simple shortcode. So when you saw some of our designs where you see the form and the order bump and the fields and all of that, and then all this beauty around it, well, all that is this short code here, and then everything else is done with your page builder. So again, you could use one of our templates, or you can use your page builder and your style and your design and your templates and just drop this short code in. So the first step on a checkout is going to be to select a product. So I'll click on this tab and here it is. Now you can have more than one product if you want. So I'm going to select a product now. Here it is, Sales Funnel Secrets, and I can add additional products if I wanted to create a bundle. Now with the apply coupon feature, you can change or modify this price dynamically for this sales flow if you wanted to do that. Now the next step is an order bump, and this is optional. If you want to have an order bump, click on this checkbox, and first we have a couple styles. We have style 1 and style 2, and we're going to be enhancing styles, and we're also planning on having multiple locations. So with most cart platforms, you just get it on the bottom, but what we're working on is 5 different locations, so you can place this order bump where it makes the most sense for you and how you want it to do. And that is the flexibility that we're working on. So the same thing with select product. For an order bump, you have to select select the product, and you would do it right here. And optionally, in an order bump, you can have an image that will appear off to the side. So we have some areas here that you'll want to fill out. So this would be the label for the checkout, and you're going to want to put the price of the product because it's not going to dynamically pull it from the WooCommerce product. So you're going to need to manually enter what that price is and maybe highlight how it's on sale or it's on discount here. So you'll get comfortable with the labels here and where that text actually goes on the front end. Now you can also optionally discount your order bump if you wanted to. So you can discount it by a percentage, you can set a specific price or auto apply a coupon to it. Now what's nice is if you choose one of these and you enter in what you want that discount to be and then you save this step, there'll be a calculation here to show the original price of your order bump and what that discount price is going to be, just so there's no surprises when you were actually on the checkout that you might be charging the wrong price or maybe misunderstood how the percentage or the discount price feature actually works. Next, we have styles. And so our border style right here, we can have dash, dotted, solid, or no border style. And you get this granular control over the way it's going to look so you can make it look perfect for the design on your website. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and since I didn't put a product in, I'm going to turn that off. Next, we have checkout design. So right now we have a 1 column and a 2 column. However, we have already built a 2-step. We just want to make sure it's perfect and it's done in an elegant way. So we are going to add that as soon as we're ready and it's polished and perfect. I just wanted you to know that that is coming soon. So you can choose a primary color and it's going to use this primary color for the button and various parts of your checkout, but you can get that granular design control if you want it. First, you can choose a different font, and this fonts will go all the way through the checkout. And then when you click on this Enable Advanced Options, you're going to see you have granular control over the fonts, the colors, everything right here. Now, there is an important feature on input fields, and that's the style. So when I click on this drop down, the default style is where the field name appears above the field, and this is just how most stores display it. We have a more optimized style, and that's where we took the field name and we actually put it inside of the field. And when your buyer clicks on a field, you'll see this smooth, buttery animation where the field name actually just scrunches down and goes into the top left. This is how you enable that right here. And so we have additional font options, color options. You have control over the button right there. Okay, so this right here is your checkout design options. Next, we have checkout fields. So first is if you want to enable or disable the coupon field. This is good if you're not going to offer a coupon. You might as well hide this because if someone sees that, then they might jump on Google and try to find your product name coupon, and it's just a big distraction. It's a good reason for someone to leave your checkout. Okay, and then we have right here, enable additional fields. So the default checkout with WooCommerce has a field for someone to enter in additional information. You may or may not want that. And then right here, we can enable or disable the option to ship to a different address. So for digital delivery, you probably don't need that enabled. And then we have this option to add custom fields and also hide fields on the checkout form. So to enable that, we would check here and then this reveals. So in this example, if I didn't want to ask my buyer the company name, I could simply uncheck that. If I don't need their country because I'm not shipping them anything and I don't need it for the credit card validation, it's a good best practice to only ask for what you really need. So you can go ahead and check and uncheck these to get it just right for your checkout. Last on this section here is you can add custom fields if you want. So if you want to ask your buyer a question, you can easily do that right here. You also get this optional field types, text area, select, or a checkbox. Okay, and that's how you can control these custom fields. And then we have this optional here, and this is totally optional. If you're using your page builder, you really don't need this, but you can add a logo here and it will add it to the top of the page. But if you're using a page builder, it doesn't really matter. You're going to do that how you want it there anyway. This is more when you're not using a page builder to build your checkout form. Okay, and then all you need to do is click on update to update this step. And then I'm going to click back to edit flow. And you notice that red warning, it completely went away. So that lets me know that this is good to go. All right, we have our upsell. Let's go ahead and take a look at those options right there. So like I said, the same thing, we will have the option to change this label. And I just like my links to be the same. So I'm going to go ahead and do that there as well. And so this is going to be what the link is to this page. Now we do have this warning here that PayPal with reference transactions and Stripe are the only ways are required in order to have our upsells and downsells. We're working on other payment gateways, and we're also going to work on an elegant solution. If your payment gateway is not supporting one-click upsells and requires your customer to put in the billing information, we're working on an elegant solution for that. Okay, so it's just to let you know. Now when I scroll down, it's the same thing. We have our shortcodes right here. And this is going to be the link. If you're using your own page builder, this is going to be the link if someone says, yes, I want this added to my order. And this is going to be the link if they say, no, I don't want this added to my order, at which case it will take them to a downsell. And this would take them to either the next upsell or your thank you page. And of course, add the product to the order. So you just need these links for your buttons in your page builder. Now when I click on select product, it's the same thing. We need to go in here and select a product, and you can choose the quantity. And the reason we added quantity here is if you're selling, say, a physical product and it's just one and you wanted a quick, easy upsell, maybe it would be a larger quantity at a discounted rate. So you were buying one before, but now if you buy these 5, we're going to give you a really good discount and try to make that irresistible. So that's what we were thinking with the product quantity right here. And then we also have the same options for discounting your upsell if you wanted to have it be the original price set in WooCommerce, but then apply a discount only at this upsell step. This is all that you have to do for an upsell. I only have my one product here in WooCommerce, so let me just add that to get the notice to go away. I'm going to click on update. Now I'm going to go back into my flow, and what you're going to notice is the label on the flow is now what I renamed the step to. So I'm going to click back to edit flow and check that out. See how it's updated right here? So we could have done that for the landing page, for the checkout page, and you saw it here. So a downsell is going to be very similar to an upsell. Let's go ahead and click on edit. It's the same thing. You would select a product, the same options, and then on the shortcodes, it's the same options. So it's yes if they want to take this, and then it would take them to the next upsell if there is one, or it would take them to the thank you page. And the same thing on the no, it would take them to the next upsell, or it would take them to a thank you page. We do want to enhance these upsell options to have them be a little bit more conditional, but this is what we have right now. Okay, so I didn't make any changes here. And then last, let's take a look at what a thank you page step looks like. I'm going to click on edit right here and scroll down. So what this shortcut is going to do is display the order details to your buyer once they get to the end of this flow. Now the beauty of CartFlows, if you're using your own page builder, you can do so much more on this last step. You can give them the next steps. You can show them a video. You can let them know exactly what they need to do next. I love it. And if you didn't want to show them the order details here, you don't have to do it. If you just want to give them next steps and then maybe a button to their members dashboard or to the course that they purchased or whatever you wanted to do there. So we also have a thank you design option right here. So it's very similar with fonts and colors. You have those there. And then we also have our ThankYou Fields. It's the same concept where you can enable or disable any of these elements that would display once you put this shortcode into your page builder. Okay, so that is the thank you page settings. Now, what we did to make things easy is we have this clone option right there, so you can clone various steps. So if you're going to have a series of upsells and downsells, you can create one and you can make it perfect, and then you can just clone it across. You can clone entire sales flows, which I'll show you in a moment as well. There's a few more items here. We have this button here to show analytics, and this is going to show you the visits, the unique visits, and the revenue per step, so you can keep a bird's eye view on that. And lastly, I just want to explain this flow settings, and it's checked by default. So what this is for is when you create your flow, maybe from a template or you're building it out, and say you see these steps right here where it's red, what this is going to do is it's going to pull random products from your WooCommerce products that you've set up, and it's going to automatically on the front end, if you're viewing these various steps, it's going to show you it filled out with those various products. That's all that this means as you're building it out. So obviously, until you uncheck this, there's a little bar at the bottom of each step that says it's in test mode. So you'll want to uncheck this to take it out of test mode. But really the thought behind test mode was so that we could put those default products in there as you're figuring out how you want your steps to look and how you want your steps to work if you haven't put a product in there yet. So I'm going to go ahead and give this flow a name. Now this name is actually just internally used only. It's not something that your buyers are going to see. So I'm going to click on update, and we've built this out, and I'm going to click right here to go back to all my flows. You can see there it is, and then here's another flow that I created. If you see on each flow, there's a clone option. So if you want to have a series of flows, you don't have to start over from scratch on each one. We wanted to have a lot of cloning options to save you time. So let's go ahead and take a look at what it's like using one of our templates. So I can click on Add New. And these are already done for you flows. So some of these are going to have the upsells and the downsell steps all ready to go for you. And all you need to do is go into the page builder that it's built with and update your text and images if you like the way that it looks. Okay, so let's go ahead and choose this one right here. I'll go ahead and click on import, and it just takes a moment. It's going to pull it from our template site. It's going to pull it right on in here for you, and then it's going to jump you right on into the flow. And these are all done with the page builder that you chose. Same thing here, just give this flow a name and then go ahead and click on update, and this is pretty much ready to go. Now everything I just showed you, let me show you how it looks in a page builder. So I have my landing page step. I click on edit, and we're going to see the button used in this template is going to link to right here. So it's all done in Elementor in this case. Beaver Builder and Divi coming soon. Here's a button. If I click on the button, here's where you put a link, and there it is with the relative URL. And that's all that we've done in the templates, is we've gone ahead and dropped that in like that. So let me get out of Elementor and let me show you the checkout step and show you where it's just a shortcode. Let me click on edit. I'm going to click on edit with Elementor. Now with Elementor, you need to click here, click apply, and then it should display the cart that you have styled inside of the actual step. Okay, and there you have it. This is just a shortcode. So if I click here, you can see it's just a shortcode. All of this is simply done with the shortcode. Everything outside of it is your page builder. And so if you're using a page builder and you want to use your own templates and designs, all you have to do is put the shortcode where you want that checkout form to appear. Okay, that's all there is to using this with your page builder. And the same goes for the thank you page. Let me just go ahead and quickly show you that as well. And you're going to see right here, when I click on it, there it is. There is the order details that we've created. And that's pretty much it to using CartFlows. We wanted to keep it really simple. I think we nailed it. I think this is pretty simple to use, and we're proud of what we created. Now, everything outside of this is just your standard WooCommerce stuff. So with WooCommerce, if you did get the orders, you would have the orders listed here. If you wanted to create coupons, there's an option right here. If you wanted to see reports in WooCommerce, you have that right here as well. So you have all of this available to you in WooCommerce already, and there's already a ton of tutorials out there on these niche little features, but we'll be adding documentation to it on our website very soon. So on behalf of the team at CartFlows, we are grateful to have you as one of our customers. We want to make sure that we give you the best and most crucial tool for your website when it comes to selling on your website. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful.